I hate this question.
I hate these questions.
One more thing.
Pesky fly. I'm approaching it the same as last year. Last year I didn't know where I was going to stack up, and I feel the same this year. I had, a couple of good races last year, but I think going in with the same approach as I had last year to this year, hopefully I can have some more good results.
Yeah, I would say I'm probably approaching it relatively the same. I mean, it's a new year. I mean, it does matter what you've done in the past because, you know, you've gained experience and you've probably learnt a lot, and that's what I try and do each year. But you also got to look at it as, you know, it is a new year. There's different competition. You're a different person, and hopefully you've grown from what you've learnt in the past. So I'd like to think that this year is a different year for me in the sense that I want to try and make sure that I go into each race knowing I've prepared for the conditions and the course, and to try and be probably a little bit more consistent than I was last year. I feel like I had definitely some really great results and I was able to hold on to the second spot in the overall series, but I've got to try and make sure I nail more of the races this year. But in saying that, have fun with it too and not put too much pressure on myself, because I've definitely really enjoyed myself the last few years, and part of doing well on the race course for me is enjoying myself, so trying to keep it light as well.
I think at this moment that you can't really speak of off-season anymore. It's just a longer training break, as you can race from December till December basically. But I think you can call it the T100 break for me.
Yeah.
But
No, it is true. I mean, you can race from what are we, like early April until mid-December basically. So you don't really have any options to go somewhere and do anything fancy. Personally, I like to stay active, do things I don't have time to do, hiking, playing paddle, whatever. Try to do something different, spend time with the family. But yeah, training-wise, it's you still have to maintain some sort of fitness because everyone keeps training. So you gotta,
at your age.
Yeah, my age. Yeah, man. 36 soon. And actually, I did the interview earlier today. I think I'm the oldest on the men's side. Yeah, I'm the one that looked the youngest, but I'm the oldest.
How does that make you feel?
Man, I feel good. I'm still here at 35 years old. You know, it's funny. I've been but it's T100 is good because it's something new for me.
Yeah.
It's different. I've been to Singapore already for a race in 2019, but man, racing World Triathlon, I've been 12 times to Yokohama, 15 times to Abu Dhabi. I can tell you the flight. I'm a bloody skyscanner now. But yeah, doing this, it's new, it's fresh, it's new faces. People have. I don't think we ever raced together. I don't think we did.
No, actually, I was thinking about it as well.
It's just new people.
Yeah.
New fun.
No?
I don't think so.
No, I can't get a race out of my mind that I lined up with you. No, I didn't really race a lot short course.
Yeah. And a few we almost did in Sarau when I was there. They turned it into a duathlon and I did not start.
It was so funny. I was like doing a warm up and they said, "Oh, we cancelled the swim," and I saw one bike getting out of the transition zone, and I saw him on my warm up and said, "Yeah, I'm out of here." I said, "Yeah, what? Yeah, I'm not signed up for a duathlon. I signed up for a triathlon."
Yeah.
And he left and he went to Girona back and he did a 3 or 4 hour ride, and I came home after the race disappointed because it was a duathlon. So fair on him.
Yeah, well, the full story is I don't get my sponsor bonuses if it's not a full trial. So I'm not racing. Yeah.
Last year, my biggest downfall was just getting ill. So I would just advise myself not to get ill. Like,
not to sit so close.
Yeah, like, well, just, the way I approached last year, I felt like I did my best under the circumstances I was in, but every time I got sick, I'd then go to a race and underperform, which is just really frustrating. So, yeah, maybe I'd say don't go out after that one race, and then you won't get sick for the rest of the year. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I think also too, though, you do the best you can with information that you have at the time.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean about learning from each year, because it's just one of those things that hindsight gives you, right? You wish that you could have made different decisions, but at the time you thought it was the right decision or the best decision. So,
like, of course, we're always trying to make the most proactive decision we
Yeah.
can, but then, yeah, hindsight is amazing, isn't it?
yeah, and I guess you learn from those things and hope that next time when you're faced with that decision or you've got to weigh up different scenarios, you choose the one maybe differently than last year. But yeah, that's part of the series too, right? You have to try and be able to stay injury-free and illness-free, and it's actually quite hard because a lot of the time we're turning up and, you know, we've just pushed our body to some pretty extreme limits, trying to be as fit as we can, but you've also got to make sure that it doesn't come as a compromise to your health, because part of racing the T100 Tour is about turning up to each race and being as good as you can, but maybe being a little bit underdone sometimes is a little bit better.
Paddle. Everybody in all sports seems to be into it. Why did you get attracted?
Well, I just think F1 drivers are playing paddle, and I think they're cool. I want to be cool, and golf's too expensive.
Fair enough.
I don't know. Have you played paddle?
No, I really want to do. I go home after Singapore and I haven't seen my brother and sister for a while. My brother plays padel.
Yeah.
But he said like, oh, the first time you do it, you kind of rip your hamstrings off your hip bones.
It's
super
intense.
Yeah, so I never really done it, but it's huge in Spain.
It's
so
less
really,
technical than squash. It's easier.
I really want to do it, and I think it's something that like can get heated up very quickly.
Yeah,
from
no,
like
it's
being too aggressive, being too like, but yeah.
It's a good sport, yeah. And if the levels are not exactly the same, you can still play with someone. And in Spain, it's huge. Huh? Like, you know where we run at Nescafe?
Yeah.
There's a massive warehouse. They convert like paddle courts. You can book online.
There's a sex shop as well, you know that?
Yeah, really? No, I don't know. Well, it's good to know. There's a nightclub, a good nightclub. It was open during COVID, actually. It was a bit underground, yeah.
So, comparing you, what's your mindset going into this season as opposed to last?
I think it's a bit different. I mean, he's the man for Singapore.
Oh,
And I'm coming here just to
acting like
to
the
see
man.
what it is.
Becoming the man. No, I think for me the most important thing is like I'm still young, so I have still a lot of years. No, but like we 10 years different.
Are you 25?
26, just
Yeah.
like I still have so much years in front of me, and I just really want to use this time to build a name for myself. Like he built a legacy for himself, and I think for me that's now the time to start doing that. And I do think that you can do that in two ways. You can win big races at once, or you can try to build consistency and be like that. So for me the most important thing is like I checked the box with I want to win the T100 race. I did that last year. Now for me the most important thing is to make the next step in my career, is to build consistency and try to become a household name in the sport. And I really admire guys like Vince, Javi, Alistair, that they've been part of this amazing series, because for young guys like me, these guys are the reason I started triathlon. And it's actually very cool to be in the same start field or actually competing against each other or making it difficult on course. So that is my point of view seeing this series. And I think the nice thing is that it's so variated, of like 24 years old to like older guys, but we all want to give a show on race day, and I think that's something I really, really look forward to and admiring about this series.
Speaks good, eh? Yeah. No. I mean, for me it's a bit different. Obviously, I have the feeling I have 2 to 3 more years in the sport if I really squeeze it. But if I can have 2 good years racing middle distance, long distance, that's I'll be happy with that. As we said earlier, I've raced. I mean, my first international race was 20 years ago. First time I was.
I was 6.
Yeah, mate. I was racing short distance, and that was my first really big race, Junior Europeans, and so yeah, I've done that. Now I want to do something different. I want to interact with new people, and And I've been asked not long ago if I'm still motivated to race, and because I've done 3 Olympic Games and I don't know many world championships, but yeah, because I still think I can win races. That's still what gets me out of bed every morning. I still think I can win races. T100, I don't know. The guys are fast. I mean, it's not easy.
But I think as well for you, is what you just said in the beginning. It's like it's something new.
Yeah.
Like
it's
you've
exciting.
been 12 times to wherever in the world there was a World Series, and now you come at this new stage. There's the sport has from 20 years ago till now has elevated. There's more money involved. There's more pressure. There's more at stake. Like I think if I can look to you from the guy behind the laptop or at the television who's just started triathlon, it's like one of the things that really defined you was like the grit and eager to race. And I think that this series really gives you that again.
Yeah, no,
like
that's
it's not a 1, 2, 3 and I win. It's like I really have to try and invent myself again to win these races again.
Yeah, no, I agree. And also I think it's the main difference. It's with middle, long distance, whatever you want to call it, the new short course. It lets you express yourself a lot more. Because what I always did is racing for federation. So you do have the same uniform, you're limited with sponsors, you limit your earnings because, well, federation don't want you to outgrow federation, so they limit your earnings too. But now you have your suit, you do whatever you want, you create your brand. As Youri said, it's really important. Now, sponsors, they value as much your performance as your brand. Good or bad, sometimes it's good because bloody influencers taking millions from us, but we do have to find the right balance.
But I do think as well, like, as I know you a bit, you're a tech guy, you really love material, and this really makes you challenge, like, oh, what chain length, what chain ring, what tires, what disc. Like, it gives you so much more options, and I think if I would be in your position and I would be saying, like, oh, I have 2 or 3 more years at this, that's something I really like to go for. That I can squeeze everything out on that side, because I do think as well, like, you're not getting much more out of training anymore as when you were 20. But you can get more out of your material, you can get more out of your equipment, you can start to think, okay, how can I travel a bit better or easier? Or I do think that would something that would trigger me a lot and to keep going.
No, definitely it was a lot of stuff, and I had to seek help and knowledge with a guy like Matt Bottrill for time trial and everything. But also, like, outside of this, I think you can really express yourself, like your style and everything. Like you have a blank canvas that you can do so many cool stuff and be yourself. And I think that's what I said again earlier in the interview. I said, you go on YouTube, you have so many videos of trainings. Like, I did this track session, I did this thing, I did this thing. But what I want is, like, talk to Youri about what he does on a daily basis. Like, where he's gonna go home after that and play paddle with his brother. That's the cool things.
I have a puppy.
Yeah, that's the cool things. It's like, like I want to know, like, I don't know what was the last movie Sam Long went to watch at the cinema. Stuff like that. It's like,
I think I can guess that. I think it must be something like Gladiator.
There is a new Gladiator actually. But he did not go watch Barbie for sure. He's not the type. But it's quite.
Or now with the kid, maybe he is.
Yeah, he's not the type to Oppenheimer either. But Gladiator. But it's this type of stuff. I think it's quite cool, and mostly in triathlon. I mean, there are a few exceptions, but people are smart. They're well educated. They can talk. They have a story to tell. We all come from different countries, background. So I think that's the interesting thing. Is the behind the scene. I mean, 90% of the football players they share 2 brain cells, but most people in triathlon, they have to sort out sponsors. They have to think about their travels. They have to think about, as Youri said, like performance paths, like your bike, your running shoes, everything. So it makes you, like, really mature early in the sport. He's 25.
But as well, like last year, I won that race, and all of a sudden, people are asking me to be at a maturity level that I never experienced. All of a sudden, you have to deal with taxes. You have to deal with sponsor brands.
That would be your bigger worry, or your car.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, at one of like, all of a sudden you have that dream, and that kind of dream becomes reality, and then it's everything you want. But there's a part that I never understand in the Netherlands, they never have education on tax, law or anything in high school. Why is that?
Yeah, I agree.
Why is that?
Yeah,
Because
no.
I came I crossed the finish line in Singapore, and all of a sudden I had a call with an accountant, and like to mature at a level that I needed to mature at. And I do think that is the nice thing of having all kinds of variations in the tour, and have a chat with people like, hey, what are you actually doing, or how do you see this, or like a blank canvas that we start with every year, and we can paint it ourselves.
I've got goals at the end of the season that I want to try and achieve, but like really realistically for me, I try and keep my head in the game just as from one race to the next, because I'm not someone who likes to get too ahead of myself and think, you know, I want to be on the podium at the end of the year. I want to be world champion. I want to achieve those things, which is good long-term goals to have if you want to be ambitious and think about that to motivate you. But for me, I turn up to each race thinking I need to do X, Y, and Z at this race, and think of all the processes that I need to do to actually perform on that one day. And that's really helped me in the past when I've just, really enjoyed it. I've trusted in my training. I'm in a good mental headspace, and just swim, bike and run, and do what I've been doing for 2 decades now. And the T100 races have always been something which I've really enjoyed. I've always had a lot of fun doing them. So just because I want to achieve these big goals doesn't mean I can't still continue the enjoyment I have for this sport.
Yeah, I'd say much the same as Ash. My main priority when I come into these races is to be in a good headspace. I know I've done all the training, I know I've done all the hard work, so that's kind of a given that I've prepared. And so if I'm in a good headspace and I'm enjoying the racing, then I'm going to perform well. And like the longer term, bigger goals, like an overall series or like the big races at the end of the year, they kind of take care of themselves if you just like tick off the little things now. And follow your processes, like control the stuff you can control and not overthink about what could be, what might happen, all the what ifs, because that's not really that constructive, like in the moment and now. Like race by race.
And I think triathlon is evolving. Like on the popular side, I think for me triathlon is the new marathon, is the new like challenge that everyone wants to do. But also on the professional side, like we have many series we can race. You have like a lot more exposure. Now it's on Eurosport and everything. It's getting big, and it's getting big, good for us. But also it's getting big. It attracts attention, and you do have to be careful because you've never been really taught what to do, and you learn the hard way. But I think again, like for me, governing bodies like federation, they have a responsibility to educate young people, because we all have a license in our country. We do to practice for insurance and everything. And if you're a pro in that country, they should allocate a budget or someone to tell you this is what you need to do with your finance. Not like buy this thing that's gonna like get you back whatever stock. Like this is all Instagram stuff. But just like, mate, this is
what you earn.
Yeah, this is what
goes.
you. Yeah,
this is
exactly.
what you get at the end of the day, and this is when you earn this much. Then you come in this part, then this. Like, educate people, but that's a small part. For me, what I really found crazy, and I still find till today, is that people want pictures with me.
Yeah.
Can you remember when you had the first picture with someone came to you and said, "Can I have a picture of you?"
Well, I can't. It was a long time ago, mate. But I can't
It still
remember.
feels
but
weird
yeah,
that someone has a picture with me on their phone and think like,
yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah. It's funny when you when they actually send it to you like 10 years after.
Yeah.
Like there is a before and after. Yeah, it's really funny. You see your age, but you see their age too. Yeah. No, it's quite.
Someone actually took a selfie when I was in the wheelchair last year with himself and me in the wheelchair, and I got that picture a while ago. Like, that was funny to see.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times if you do have a bad day, you know, we all put in so much effort in training, it's, you know, probably not reflective of the hard work that you've put in, but I don't think India or we're not robots, right? Sometimes it is just about those little things, and you know, the fields that we're up against at these T100 races are so strong. So if you show any sign of weakness or you don't have it exactly right, like, you're going to be exposed. And that's just part of being a professional athlete. That's part of racing the best athletes in the world in this type of tour. And, you know, I think you'll see highs and lows from all of us this year. And it's just about, I guess, who at the end of the year has got it right a little bit more than the next person. And it will come down to, you know, maybe a few points or those few little moments in time that might dictate the whole series for you. But you've just got to take it as it comes and, you know, ride those waves, but try not to ride the low ones for too long. And you know that, you know, there's another race around the corner and you can hopefully put it together and show the work that you've put in, because, yeah, all of us are definitely doing the work to try and put our best foot forward.
I approach every race pretty much the same. I still want to get the best performance out of myself for the condition I'm in on that day. So, yeah, maybe some days I'd be more competitive than other days because of the way I've planned my season to be ready for the big race at the end of the year. But that doesn't change the mindset going into the race of wanting to get the most out of myself and having a good performance. Yeah, I
agree. And also the T100 tour kind of is laid out, so we're racing on different continents with different conditions, different courses. So I guess naturally, even if you have the same attitude and the same race strategy as the previous race, you know, you might be a bit more out of your comfort zone depending on what suits you as an athlete and what your strengths lie. And you might turn up to a race, you know, really wanting to do well, but realistically your chances might be a little bit lower because it's not really the course that might 100% suit your strengths and might expose more of your weaknesses. But I guess that's also something about the T100 tour, is that that's their aim. Their aim is to try and test people in different ways and, you know, see different winners and different podium contenders at different races. And, you know, even if you've won a couple, you might be off the podium at another, but you've still got to try and be close enough, even on those days where it might not suit you so much. You've got to try and limit the damage because, yeah, when you collect the points at the end of the year and we're trying to determine a world champion, it might really matter. You know, your worst score points might matter. So you've always got to fight to the finish and do your best to stay as close to the pointy end as you can.
And this event in particular in Singapore has had its fair bit of drama over the last couple of years. What's the most dramatic thing that's happened to each of you in the race?
Dramatic thing.
Dramatic.
Well, I finished the T100 series last year walking, so that was fairly
So did I, but you were walking and like you were walking onto the podium. I was way out. I was walking, hoping not to get lapped.
Yeah, I mean, you never really want to be on a race course and be walking. We don't train for that.
Yeah.
But it happens to the best of us. So,
Yeah,
no walking this year.
let's hope.
If you could have dinner with 3 people,
Oh my gosh.
dead or alive, who would they be and why?
I hate this question.
I hate these questions. I know one of them. It would be my granddad, because he died when I was quite young, but he was absolutely obsessed with sport, and he was always like really encouraging of me doing any kind of sport. And so I'd love to be able to be like, hey, like, this is what I'm doing now, and I think he'd think it was really cool.
That's nice.
The other 2 don't care. Just me and him would be fine.
Maybe I'll just invite myself to your dinner.
Yeah, you can come
Probably
along.
the third
Yeah,
person.
Yeah,
We
fine.
can talk
there we
about
go.
racing.
Yeah. Done.
Yeah, 3 people. Yeah, that's
Grandpa Dan.
That's lovely. One last question, guys. Totally nothing related to anything to do with T100 or triathlon. So, to the pair of you, have either of you got a secret talent or hobby that, and don't mention paddle because you've done that, so you have to go a little bit deeper and divulge something that nobody knows about either of you?
Well, I think people know it, but I really love to cook. My dad is chef, and if I have time, which is mostly in off season, my girlfriend is living for 3 weeks in a restaurant. Like I really try to make, if I make meatballs,
That's why
try to
she
make
stays.
the most amazing meatballs. No, mate, we have got them. We can't leave each other anymore. Like make the most amazing meatballs, or like I think that, and I do have to say, and probably it's the same for you. Like, and I think it's the same for my coach and every athlete. Sometimes it's very nice as well to just go to your garage box and just fuck around for like 2 hours on your bikes and like try things out. Like, could this fit? Like just you and your toolbox, like man stuff.
Would you have been a chef, do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, if I make good money and I retire, I would really like maybe to set something up. Like, what I always miss, and I would combine the worlds then. Like, I would maybe become a performance chef or something like that. Like, sometimes I miss and that's we coming back again to like knowledge and acknowledge people. It's like, sometimes you go with young athletes on training camps and they eat for 4 weeks pasta with red sauce. Well, you can make so much nice things from just a little bit of veg, a little bit of protein, a little bit of carbs, a little bit of everything. And sometimes I miss that as a triathlete. Your day is so full every single day, every single week that eating is such an important part in your recovery and in your preparation for your next session that sometimes you kind of forget to make it fun or to kind of forget to eat enough. And I really would see myself doing something like that in like, how can I help athletes to achieve the best possible from the food side? That's my...
Is it, was the question hidden talent or hidden secret?
Hidden talent, hidden hobby?
I don't have any talent, I think. No.
Wow.
I don't cook, but I mean,
Eating?
I like eating. Yeah, I eat a lot. I don't know if watching YouTube is a talent. I'm really good at it. And no, the thing that my girlfriend's quite mad. I own a lot of shoes. Like I have a lot of pair of shoes, and it's really annoying.
I think your hobby is more fashion, isn't it?
Yeah,
like you want to look good. You
I
wanna
do
smell
like
good,
this.
you wanna-
I have actually on my phone. I think you can save these tabs on your browser.
Yeah.
I think I have 176 tabs of things I want to buy, and it's all clothes. So yeah, that's not a talent. Don't do that at home, kids. But it's.
I've heard a story of Jan Frodeno that when he earned some money from the federation in Germany, that he bought himself like a stereo set before the race, and he knew he had to make podium to pay for the audio set. That could be a good motivation as well.
So I said if I win a T100, I'll buy a driving simulator. That's my thing.
Oh really?
But
That's cool.
I have a story about the same thing. I was flying to Singapore, and I was back then racing it was called a Super League back then, and I won all the races. I was going into the final. I was 100% like except massive blow, I would win the series. And I think at the end of like after 6 months, you make 200 grand maybe. And I was flying from Paris maybe to Zurich, and then Zurich to Singapore. Land in Zurich, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna buy myself a nice watch.
Oh, you told me this one.
I'm gonna buy myself a nice watch. I go to the, can we say brands? Go to the Rolex stand, see this one. I'm like, okay, 20 grand, bam, 20 grand. That was, in Super League, that's 20 minutes of racing. I was like, okay, I get it. I keep it in the box and everything. Fly to Singapore.
You told me this. Yeah,
land in
I
Singapore,
remember.
fit, like, I was machine back then. Huh? I land, race starts, swim, first group, get on the bike. I'm like, I'm gonna walk this race. 500 meters into the bike, flat tire, gone. I was like, no. First thing in my head, going to return the watch.
It's a watch.
I'm not flying back to Zurich on the way back. I was like, I'm gonna return the watch. But luckily, it was 2 days racing, and I won the next day. And overall, with the points, I still managed to win the overall.
Did you tell anyone then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a funny story. So yeah, don't think you're there
Is it
before
that
you're
one?
there. No, that's another one. But yeah, it's similar. But yeah, it was. And you know what? I still haven't touched this watch. It's still in the box. I've never wore it. I think it's jinx. I'm gonna wear it. It's my saving. I'll sell it when times are rough.
Yeah, it'll be worth more if you never wear it.
Yeah.
What story, eh? Oh.
But yeah, don't do that.
No. That's why you have too much money. I'm still scrapping everything out. Nah, that's not true. We make a good living. I have a wedding coming up, so I need to save money.
What?
Yeah, I'm not married yet. My girlfriend and
Thailand.
No. My girlfriend and I got engaged in December. So
Yeah, I remember on the beach and everything.
yeah, it was nice. So, but actually, because of that, because of Singapore, I could buy an engagement ring.
Because you.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, what's the win in T1?
25K.
25 bucks on the ring. Poor mate.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it's supposed to be a month
Oh.
of. Because I'm getting
Yeah,
into this
but-
thing now. It's supposed to be a month of earnings.
No,
Something
no,
like that.
no. Can I give you some advice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She has sisters.
Yeah.
Okay. Ask the sisters what kind of ring would she like.
Okay.
Because they all been doing this. They've been speaking
Yeah,
about it.
they have a Pinterest and everything.
And then
yeah, 100%.
Go to with one of the sisters to a place where they know it's good.
Okay.
Let them design it, and you say, "That's the one," and then
I'll do that.
that's it.
Yeah, I thought there was
It's
a
the
story.
easiest way. And I gave the ring to my girlfriend, and she said, "How did you know? This is exactly the ring I wanted." So
Yeah, good one.
yeah.